Big Dipper. It's a P2 exclusive. It's very similar to Space Hopper. Now, my Space Hopper didn't turn out too well. That was my failed brew, my first failed brew. So I'm hoping that this is going to turn out a bit better. It's got hopping oil, so we'll be adding that halfway through. And I'm going to be going for 8 days brewing, 2 days cold crash, 8 days conditioning. So with Stars and Stripes, I went for 6 to 6. I'm extending this 8 to 8 only because it's a high VB, so it's 7% ABB, and I want to give it time to brew out to make sure that it does brew out that 7%, and also again give it some extra time to condition. So yeah, really looking forward to this. Let's jump into the kitchen and we'll get started. Before we get cracking, if you like the content here at Action Frank, then please smash that like button because it really means a lot. Okay, step 1, sanitizer. So we're going to pour in sanitizer in here into my mixing jug, fill it up with water, hot water, and then give it a shake. Now before I fill it up with the sanitized solution, I'm just going to walk you through. I've got some food grade silicone lube. And I'm just going to walk you through where I put it. So I like to put some here on the threads just to make it a lot easier to screw this in and make sure you get a tight seal. I also put some here on these big threads. So again, when you're screwing the screwing cap or the top cap, it screws on nicely. I also push this down and put some in there. Because there's a rubber O-ring, so basically wherever you have any rubber O-rings you want to put this on, and then last of all I also put some on here, the outside part of the O-ring, and then there's an inside O-ring as well. So yeah, definitely get some of this. It definitely helps just keeping everything nice and tight, but also the longevity of all your kind of rubber bits. So I'll do that now, and I'll be back in a sec. Make sure your carb dial set to 5, and top tip, to make sure that all of the solution's dissolved, you shouldn't have any white bits at the bottom of your sanitized solution. So in we go with the sanitized solution into the pinter. Then I'm going to fill her up to the fill line, and then I'm going to close, put the top cap on, and give her a good shake. I'm going to clear the lines, so I'm going to pull up here and go 45 degrees, and it should start trickling through after a little while. I've had to have a bit of play with this. Normally when I do 45 degrees like this, I get a steady trickle. It wasn't happening. I undid the tap, put it back in, still wasn't happening. I ended up just putting some extra hot water in here and then just giving it a shake, and then I think that's built the pressure up now just to get the water all the way through the tube, and now it's running nice. So that's good. A bit of a concern, not sure why I wasn't doing that before. Anyway, so 45 degrees, I'll let that run for a little bit. Then I'll go full 90, and then we'll clean the back side. Okay, so onto the back side. Pressure sets are off, so water will come out of here, the carbon valve, and also I'm going to press down on here because sometimes it doesn't always click in. So I'm going to press down and just give it a bit of a shake. Right, so let's put on the brewing dock. Turn, twist, push even. Turn, so nicely, tip her over. Okay. Right, so That wasn't the smoothest. I was struggling to get water coming out at 45 degrees. Then I was finding that water kept on coming out of the hopper valve, and I had to push my finger in there a couple of times just to reseat it. So yeah, not the smoothest, but we're done. So good. On to the brew. I'm having the job of it tonight. I had to use these bad boys to get the top off because I can unscrew the cap. And then it took me 5 minutes to take the silver cap off. Anyway, so smells amazing, which is good. In she goes. I'm gonna pour it in, and I think Big Dipa is quite thick, a little bit like Space Hopper. So I'll let that funnel in, and then I'll probably fill it up to about there, I guess. Just, I don't know, about a fifth, if that, just with some hot water that's been boiled. Give it a good shake, and then in she goes. Put the cap on, and then give her a good shake. Let's undock Red and get rid of the sanitise solution, and then we'll fill her up with the brew. So turn, lift. Okay. That's good to go. When you're mixing the solution, again, a little bit like the sanitizer, if you just give it a quick twist, you want to make sure that there's no thick syrup landing at the bottom or at the top. You want to make sure it's all nice and combined. So I'm going to fill her up with the brew juice, and I'm then going to add water to the fill line. Water to the fill line. Then I filled up the press to around here because we already added it with water, and again put it in there. Now I'm just going to add the yeast, put the top cap on, and give her a shake. Okay, so giving her a bit of a shake, you can tell because I'm out of breath. I'm going to put the dock on, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do with the carb barrel. So dots on. There's quite a lot of play there, but that's good. So let's turn her upside down. Oh, dear. Cool. So she's good to go. In the same way as my Stars and Stripes, please note, Pinter say you should be brewing on 0, so do your own research. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the carb valve until I just feel a little bit of pressure. And each pint is a little bit different. But on this one, it's about 0.7. It's a bit more on this one than yellow. So she's about 0.7. What I'll do is I'll let her brew for 12 to 24 hours. Then I'll put it on my pressure gauge, see what it's at. And ideally I want it to be at around 12, 14 psi for the first 4 days. Then after four days or so, once the bubbling stops, then I'll turn it up to around 25 or so, which is around the just below number 1 mark. So yeah, a bit challenging tonight. Not quite as straightforward as some of my other ones, Not quite sure why, but it is what it is. If you like the content here, hit that like button. If you want to see the playlist, then I'll put a video up there somewhere. And then if you want to see what's next on Action Frank, then I'll put it up there. But yeah, cheers. Thanks for watching.